everyone, welcome back to Taking on Type 1. My name's Allison Ryan, and today we're going to show you the setup of the bubble and how it all works, how to get it on your phone, how to get it on your watch, and how to get the whole setup process complete. But before we start, as always, let's roll that intro. Like I said, today we're going to show you the whole setup of the bubble. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you and how I went through the process on my phone. Now remember, this is for an iPhone and Apple Watch, so if you have anything else, things might be a little different, but hopefully this can at least get you on the right track. So without further ado, let's get to it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is download the app Test Flight. You're going to go to the App Store and you're going to download Test Flight. Why you have to do this is because the app that the whole bubble runs through, which is called Diabox, doesn't actually have its own app. It's called a testing app because they are continuously improving it, and it's not an actual app on the App Store. So you have to download Test Flight, which is where apps are tested for people to try, and you have to download that first. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to the App Store and you're going to type in Test Flight. Once you type that in, you're going to click it. And you're going to hit get or buy or purchase or whatever your phone says. Put in your password, all the common Apple Store stuff, and it's going to be downloaded right to your phone. Once it's downloaded, you're going to click on the app, then it's going to pull up Test Flight. You're going to hit continue, hit that you accept all the terms and conditions, and yes, you want notifications, so you're going to hit allow. Now what you're going to see is a screen that says no apps available to test and a little thing in the corner that says redeem. You're going to ignore that because it's going to be way easier to do what I'm going to show you how to do. You're going to go to Safari and you're going to type in bubblan.org. Once it pulls up the website, you're going to scroll down the page. You're going to go past kind of what it is in the box and what it looks like, all its features, and then you're going to hit the thing called Diabox app, and right below that is download. Again, for the iPhone, you're going to do the iOS. If you have an Android, obviously you're going to go through the Android link. You're going to hit install, but before you do, if you want the information on your Apple Watch, you're going to scroll down and hit that little knob to on. I couldn't do it because it's already connected to my Apple Watch, so it wouldn't let me do that without disconnecting a whole bunch of things. But I wanted to show you where that was at because that took me literally 2 to 3 days to figure out how to even get it to my Apple Watch and how to even get it downloaded. So you're going to scroll down, hit that little knob, and then go back up to the top and hit install. Once that's done, you're going to open back up into Test Flight. So you are in Test Flight, there's going to be Diabox there, it's going to tell you its version, whatever version it is. It's going to tell you when it expires. Now what that means is they continuously are coming out with new and improved app features and just trying to make it better. So they expire every between 80 and 90 days. Now this doesn't mean that you're going to be gone, removed from Diabox forever. It just means that you have to download the next version. So once you open the Test Flight and you can see the Diabox thing there, you're going to hit open, and that's going to open it through Test Flight and get you exactly where you need to go, and it's going to open the app. You're going to hit allow, and then you're going to hit OK to use the Bluetooth. You're going to hit yes and allow for the notifications. It's going to tell you what it is. You're going to hit start testing, and of course you have to accept the terms and conditions. And then you're going to see this screen, and this is your main setup screen. After Diabox opens, you're going to see this screen. It's going to be blank, and we're going to do the custom settings and all that kind of stuff in a little bit. But the first thing you want to do is hit Add CGM. When you hit Add CGM, it's going to ask you what kind of CGM you have. You're going to say Libre, and you're going to want to check this box right here, and then you're going to want to hit Connect. This step is super important, otherwise you're not going to have any information coming from your Libre to your Bubble and the Diabox app because, well, you never added the CGM. Now when I did this, I already had my Bubble attached to my Libre. I'm not quite sure if that makes a difference, but you might want to go ahead and try that, or if it's not working for you, then try that, and that might be your issue. From here, you're going to hit the little gear on the bottom right-hand side, and that's going to take you to the settings bar. Now mine looks a little different just because mine's already set up, so you aren't going to have all of the settings that you might when you first pull it up. I tried to reset it just to how it was when I first downloaded it so you can get kind of an idea of what you need to change. So the first thing you're going to want to change is you're going to want to put it on push notification, and that's going to essentially bring it up on your home screen when you're doing whatever. It's going to give you a notification every 5 minutes no matter what you are at. And so you want that on, so it's going to turn red when you turn that on. And for now, we're just gonna keep going down this list, and then we're gonna get to the alerts in a second. So we're gonna skip more alerts for now. Language, obviously that depends on you and what language you need. Data collection, you're gonna want that on master if you are the one that is wearing the bubble. Now in my next video, I'm gonna show you how to set up Night Scout and how to get people so they can read your readings and so they can get notifications when you're high and low and all that good stuff. That's where the follower section of that's gonna come in, but for now, you wanna be the master. Under that, you're going to do display. Now display either says day or 24 hours. And I want it to be just, 12 through 11 and then 12 through 11 again. But for some reason it's on the complete 24 hours, no matter if I choose 24 or day. So I'm not exactly sure what that's all about. So it doesn't really matter what you want to choose. Right now I have mine set on day. Now, one final option that you see before we get into the custom alerts and all that good stuff is the units. Now you can choose if you want numbers such as 80, 100, 200, 400, or if you want things like the actual decimals. You'll have to choose your unit here, and obviously you know what you go by, and that's what the graph will go by, is whatever you decide you choose. Now you get to customize what you want your graph to be at and where you want your notifications to come in for highs and lows. So you have very high, high, target, low, and urgent low. And that's gonna be when your alarms come on, it's gonna know when to give you those alerts. Maybe you want to be a little higher or maybe a little lower, whatever your comfortable range is, whatever you and your doctor have set up, that's what you're gonna put in here. So for very high, I have mine set at 297, so almost 300. 297 is the highest you can go for very high. For high, I have it set at 200. Target 150, that's kind of the middle of the road for me. It doesn't give you like a 80 to 130 or an 80 to 150 or anything like that. You have to kind of just shoot for a middle, and so I went with 150. My low is 65, so what it will do is it won't alert you until 65, so really anything 66 to 150 will be your target, and even up a little bit past that will be target until you hit 200. So the in-target range really does range from your low to your high, but it knows where your middle ground is by putting in the in-target range. And my urgent low is set to 55. Now the last setting that you can do on this page is graph height, and you can either choose 299 or 400. I just went ahead and did the 400. I like to have that broader scale if I ever need it that high. I just like to have my big base there. So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna go back up to the top where it said more alert, and you're going to click on that, and that's how we're gonna customize our settings and our sounds. So when you pull this up, you're gonna see several different things. You're gonna see device, glucose, rise rate, drop rate, and then when it ends, and missed readings. So this is where you can really get kind of customized and figure everything out for yourself as far as how you want your Diabox app and Bubble to alert you. So under glucose, you're going to see the high, urgent low, low, rise rate, drop rate. So for all of them, there's 3 different options. Left to right is going to be your snooze time, and then the middle is going to be the alert tone, and then the right side is going to be if you want vibrate on or off. So for snooze, what is snooze? That's when, say you're either having a high or a low and you're working on either taking insulin to get it down or taking more sugar to get it back up. It's gonna pop up with an option, do you wanna cancel or snooze this alarm? If you choose to snooze it, it will be quiet for whatever that set amount of time is that you put in. So for mine, I have it set at about either an hour or 2 hours for a high, because it takes my body a little longer to accept the insulin and do what it needs to do. For an urgent low, I have it set at about 15 minutes. And then for a low, about 30 to an hour, but typically around 30. Now this doesn't shut off the alarm and cancel anything coming through. All it does is it makes it quiet. So it will just come through quietly and it will pop up with the numbers, but it won't pop up with any sound or vibration. Now for your alert tones, you can go through and customize your alert tone to something that makes sense to your ears, something that you're gonna wake up to, or something that you're gonna notice. There's everything from like a siren alarm to a baby crying. There's lots of different things on there, so that's something that you're gonna customize. If you don't want any loud alert noises, just turn it to off. This is something that I actually do when I'm in class or I'm gonna be somewhere where I don't want my phone to go off, because even if your phone is on silent, there's been times where it still comes through because it wants you to be alerted. So if you need to be in a place where it's quiet and you can't have anything going off, or you're embarrassed by the sound, just turn those settings to off. But I highly recommend turning them on during the night when you're going to sleep or something like that. Now the third option, as I said, is if you want vibrate on or off. 90% of the time I have mine on. It just makes it easier. It gives me a double alert here. I have an alert tone and alert vibrate, so I know that something's happening, I need to pay attention. It does it 5 times, and I believe it's 5 for high and 4 for low, but it will vibrate 5 times. That's very different than any other thing that I've ever had on my phone, so it's something that I notice and I know exactly what it is. Now you can customize that for all of those settings under glucose. You can customize it for actually anything in the more alerts button. For signal loss and low battery, which is above the glucose, that's just telling you when you lose a signal, it will alert you that says, hey, bubble signal lost, maybe try reconnecting, or maybe it's dead or whatever. And then low battery, you can customize when you want that to come on. Mine's set at 20% because even at 20%, it lasts a long time. So I have those turned on. Those are just on vibrate on my phone because I don't really need to be loudly alerted that those things are happening. Rise rate and drop rate, those kind of tell you if you've gone up quickly or gone down quickly. You may not be low or high, but it's going to kind of alert you as to where you're going if you're going up and down really fast. Settings apply to those as well as the same as above, except for you're going to need to choose rise and drop rates, how much you want it to alert you. If it's a big one like 5, something like 3, it'll tell you all those things. That's just something that you need to customize for you. The last couple of settings on here is end before and miss reading. So end before, you can choose that setting to be 3 days, 5 days, whatever it has in there for options. It's just going to kind of give you an alert and matches up with your Libre saying, hey, your sensor's going to expire soon, you're going to need to replace that. And then the missed reading is obviously if the bubble misses a reading, it will alert you and say, hey, we missed a reading. Just so you know, that last one isn't accurate. That's from about 10 minutes ago, just so you are visually aware of that. The last thing you can do is hit all alerts snoozed. If you are in a quick place and you just need to quiet everything and you don't want anything on, just hit all alert snoozed and everything will be on quiet. As far as the settings goes, that's just about it. Now for the Apple Watch, you need to do your phone section first, otherwise it won't pop up on your watch. So what you're going to do for the Apple Watch feature is that you're going to go to the Apple Watch app and you're going to switch over to Face Gallery. You're going to need to scroll all the way down to this one right here. Now this is one of 2 that works. This is the only one that I've tried though, so stick with this one. You're going to click on a color scheme that you like. You can go back and forth. You can choose a specific color within that color scheme. I'm going to choose this one. And then you're going to customize the settings on it. I like the date and the time where they're at, but I want the middle one on the bottom to be diabox. So I'm going to click bottom middle and change it to diabox. Then I actually want the bottom right and left to be nothing. So I'm going to change those to off, just so I can get a clearer picture of what my levels are. Once that's done, you're going to hit add at the top and it's going to go over to the My Watch section. So you're going to click on the bottom left to My Watch and you can see it's right there. You're going to see all that, scroll down and set as current watch face and it's all good to go. And it's exactly like this one is right here. Now something you need to be careful of with the watch is sometimes it doesn't always catch up as fast as you'd like it to. What I mean by that is sometimes you actually have to click that button like I'm showing you here and wait for it to kind of catch up because that number might not be quite accurate. It might have missed a couple between the phone and the watch and it just needs a little bit of time to sync up. So if you really want to know what you are, just click that and it's going to, sometimes it will race through this little track and it will be like 260 and then all of a sudden you'll watch it go like and it will show you exactly what your number is there. So just be wary of that and just know that sometimes it may not be accurate, but it is nice to have kind of that double. So all in all, it's not too difficult to set up. It's just really difficult to set up when there's no one there to guide you and kind of point you in the right direction and give you somewhere way how to start. The biggest things that were confusing to me was I had to go through test flight and I wasn't aware of that. And then trying to find that redemption code, again, is so much easier just to go back to their website, click the iOS download, and that just takes you exactly where you need to go. You don't have to get a code, you don't have to get anything, and it's way easier that way. The other thing that was super confusing was the watch part, but I've now shown you that you need to scroll down to the bottom when you're installing Diabox and switch that to on so you can get that on your Apple Watch. If you forget, you'll have to uninstall Diabox, reinstall it, and make sure you do that before you actually hit the install button. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope that this allows you to set it up a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. I hope that I've answered all your questions on how to get it all set up. If you ever have a question that I did not answer, please post it in the comments below. You can also post any other videos that you want me to do or try or anything like that down in the comments, or send me an email. Follow me on Instagram, and also, as always, hit the subscribe button and mark the notification bell so you don't miss the next video, which will be very important because next week is going to be how to set up Night Scout. This has been awesome. There's still little glitches that we're working out, but how to set it up is kind of difficult. But with some help from my Facebook groups, as I mentioned last time, I was able to set it up, and I'm able to get my mom and my boyfriend the numbers, and anyone else that wants them. They're able to see it, get my alerts, all that kind of stuff. So next week's gonna be a super awesome video because you'll actually get to see how to set up Night Scout and how to get that all ready. Thank you again so much for stopping by Taking on Type 1. Make sure you come back next week for my Night Scout video. But until then, get out there and take on Type 1.